Hey everyone, Chris here from AV.technology. I'm here with Soren Norgaard, Integrate Expo's commercial manager. I thought I'd touch base with Soren given that Integrate is looming large on everyone's calendar. Welcome, Soren.
Thank you, Chris. Great to be here again.
So let's jump straight into it. How's this year's show's preparation tracking?
It really feels like we're back to where events were, once upon a time pre-pandemic. So there's a lot of pent-up anticipation, not just from exhibitors, the actual show floor. I mean, we were back last year in 22, as you know, with a decent show and really good feedback from our surveys, both through exhibitor surveys and the visitor surveys. I think a lot of that last year was also to do with industry just being happy to be back together and seeing each other in person after being, in front of screens for a couple of
Yeah,
years.
on the webinars.
Yeah. So I think last year, the testament from last year was, yep, it was good. The show was good. Obviously, there were still some exhibitors that were, maybe reluctant or sitting on the fence because they didn't know what it would look like. The investment, do we go in with a full investment, and some did and others were sort of more cautious. That trend has changed this year, so we're pretty much back to where we were pre-pandemic, 2019 Melbourne and 2018 in Sydney. So from a footprint perspective, the show is more than twice as big on the Integrate side than it was in 2022.
Gosh. So where's that growth coming from? Is it new exhibitors or is it bigger stands?
It's a bit of both. So as I said, there were some exhibitors last year that maybe, took a smaller footprint, what have you. This year they're like, yep, we're back. And I think also the international shows have helped with that. There's more confidence in industry. There's been a couple of good international trade shows since last year that many of the manufacturers have, had good experiences with. So they're not as cautious with their investment, put it that way. They know that trade shows are back.
The word on the street, I guess, the Bush Telegraph that I'm hearing is that attendees, people want to be there. The people are planning on attending this year. Is that your feeling?
Absolutely. So, in fact, I've had a few conversations. One most recently from New Zealand, that there's a very big contingent coming from, across from New Zealand this year. I guess for them, a lot of them didn't come over last year, and a lot of them didn't travel during COVID. So now is really the first chance for them to get back to a trade show. But even nationally, I think travel is there's more confidence in travel. You're not gonna get stranded. There was still a bit of that last year. What happens if borders close and all of that? That's gone away now. So.
And you're still co-locating with the security show?
Yep, still co-located. So we're taking up the whole bottom level of the ICC, which is just over 19,000 square meters combined. Integrate's still bigger. It's probably about 65% of the footprint is Integrate. But there's a reason why they are co-located, and I think I went into it last year. There's a lot of crossover technologies that sort of sit across both from a reseller distributor perspective. There are a number of customers that sell into both sectors, but also from big integration consultancy. If you look at big venues, they typically have CCTV, access control rooms that go hand in hand with AV technology, network security, cyber security. So there's a whole host of reasons why it's beneficial to have these two events side by side from a visitor perspective and exhibitor perspective. And let's face it, we're in Australia, industry is only so big, and if we can have a showcase that's more appealing to a greater number, then I think that's the way to go, and it'll be the second time round, so let's see how it goes. But certainly the feedback that we had last year from our surveys was it was a very welcome addition to the co-locate with Integrate. So both from security and the other way around from Integrate. So.
And how's the education program shaping up?
It's going well. So we've got a very comprehensive program again, covering lots of facets within the industry. From your sort of usual stuff around product segments and verticals to more sort of cutting edge, around sustainability and what the industry is doing to try and become more circular. Think about, the technologies and what's the life of those technologies after they have served their purpose. And then we've got some sessions that are addressing, career paths within the AV industry. There's quite a few of the big integrators, led by Pro AV and a few others that are looking at this AV Academy and the entryway through TAFE and actually having a more formalised educational path for the industry. And then general stuff around state of industry, what are the hot buttons, and then all of the sort of the trendy stuff that's at the top of everyone's mind now when it comes to AI and the implementation of AI through Teams and what have you. So there's a lot of stuff happening in that space as well.
Yeah, it's coming to take all of our jobs, Soren. So that's my takeaway.
Hopefully not. But, if I was a journalist, I'd be worried.
And a subject close to my heart, Soren, the AVIAs, the AV Industry Awards, are returning after COVID-induced hibernation. So again, this year we are producing them in partnership with AETM and Avixa, but also thanks to you, we're Integrate. So thanks for having us.
No, really delighted to have the RVs back at Integrate. I feel that it's the natural home for the RVs since we've got the industry in one place. And, first day of the show, as the show wraps up, we'll go straight into the central networking area, central for the show, and we'll have the RVs and the networking drinks there. And we'll be paying some recognition to deserved recipients within the industry. And
yes.
Yeah, look forward to having it back.
Yeah, that's great. So all welcome, I guess. First in, best dressed, I guess, is the way you'd put it.
Yeah. Hopefully we can accommodate everyone. It's a pretty big space.
Yeah.
And it's good to have him back. And I'm gathering that the submissions are almost due now, aren't they?
Yeah. Get your submissions in now. And these awards are only as good as the projects that are being considered. So we urge the industry to get behind it. I know that they are. Everybody I talk to is always very supportive of the awards and recognition of the best projects in the region. Getting their time in the sun. So looking forward to it, no doubt.